All right, so this is my new 2022 Wrangler Rubicon extreme package. So what you guys can see, the difference would be the giveaway is these little flares, front and the back. So the main difference between regular 392 and an extreme package is bigger wheels. Those are 35s. Different gear ratio, 4.56, and another big difference is after or heavy duty tire carrier, which is by Mopar. This guy right here, all beefed up. I believe it can carry up to 40-inch tire. I'm not too exactly sure. So just picked it up about 2 weeks ago. Already put, believe it or not, 800 and some miles on this beast. So there's a few things that I really like, a few things that I'm not so sure about, a few things that I wish were a little bit different. So one of the things that I do really like is that sound, the V8 sound, that exhaust pipe sound. It gets up and goes as soon as you press on the gas, so that's good. Unfortunately, the gas mileage is horrendous. I think I'm averaging around 14 miles a gallon, give or take, which obviously, right, nobody buys a Jeep Wrangler for that matter for gas mileage. I mean, you could go with the V6 or the half electric one. Just previously of owning this Jeep, I had 2017 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon Recon package, and that was basically the top of the line of Wranglers. It had red seat belts, it had that aggressive look on the hood, and what I did on that Jeep is I re-geared it to 4.56, and I put 35-inch tires on that Jeep, and I felt like it wasn't enough. So that's one of the reasons I went with this particular Jeep. So it already comes with 35-inch tires. And what I recently found out is you could actually opt out with NATO grip tire, whatever it's called, 38 inch, and so you could be able to still keep that same rim and put 38s on it. And that's kind of what I'm planning to do. Is I do like these rims just because they match the accent, so I'm thinking to put 38s on here with those same rims, and maybe put a lift or a leveling kit or spacers. Debating between the spacers. You could actually put 2-inch spacers in here, and you'll clear those tires. Now I don't want to put a spacers just because it just sounds cheap. I'm thinking maybe I go with the TerraFlex lift and maybe Fox suspension, which this current Jeep has a Fox suspension as is. And that's what I also had Fox 2.0 shocks on my previous Jeep. Never had any problems. Really like them, and I really like the TerraFlex. Never had any problems with that either. So that's kind of what I'm planning to do. Is maybe 4-inch lift on this guy, 38s, and debated about the fenders. Now, American Adventure offers basically a delete kit. What that is there's an LED strip that goes basically from here all the way to here, and what you do is you cut the rest. And I'm debating if I should do it or not. My plan was to put the LED kit right here and then cut this kind of like right there where that LED kit would basically end. It'll give it a nice clean look. And inside here also American Adventure offers like a metal mesh where you could put that, but unfortunately I watched some YouTube videos and somehow some guys do it. It doesn't cover the top. So I don't like that the top is going to be exposed, and I don't like that this whole portion here is going to be exposed as well. So what I'm thinking, if I do get them, is I'm going to cut like halfway, basically. I think you cut them from here halfway, put that metal mesh, and then just tuck this in. And that's one of the reasons I want to keep this top, because it, I mean, first when I seen pictures, I really thought this was, I mean, kind of hokey design, but now that I look at it, it's not too bad. It gives a nice little extra beefy look, and I mean, they do serve a purpose. So anyways, so far so good. I do like it, and just did my first mob, and that's basically the tinted windows. What I did is I matched the front to the back. Simple effect. You know, I feel like it gives that nice clean look. And in the front, what I did is I basically matched this right here. Just went slightly below those dots. And that gives it nice, clean, aggressive look. Kind of like, I don't know, when you're driving it, your window's so slim, just gives that extra nice look. So interior, you know, it's a Wrangler. It's definitely, I feel like in the you know, upgrade. Nice seats, nice stitching. The steering wheel feels good. All this is basically kind of synthetic leather or something like that. So I mean, it feels good. Nice built handles, door quality. The only thing, I mean, obviously it doesn't have power seat, but that's not a big deal. In my opinion, I mean, you adjust your seat and you're done. You're not adjusting your seat every single day. So for me, that is not a big deal. So, I mean, it has, you know, handles and stuff like that. My 2017 Jeep didn't have it. I put aftermarket handles, and they were making all kinds of noises, and I just didn't like them, so I ended up actually taking them off. So in here, what I learned just recently with this Jeep is this Off-Road Plus. What that does is basically locks the two back tires together, and it allows you to do basically the donuts, and they recommend doing that only on like gravel and sand and stuff like that, where you could do donuts. And the reason for that is because this Jeep is all-time four-wheel drive, and now for part-time high means, or your wheels will rotate the same time. So you don't want to put that when you're driving at the higher speeds. I think what they recommend actually going 35 or 25 miles tops with that. With this, it's all the time, and when you're on dirt or sand and things like that, you just basically put Off-Road Plus, and that locks the back wheels together and will allow you to do more aggressive donuts, which is, you know. Now another thing I found out is what you could do is you could buy a taser. It's basically an aftermarket part. It's around $400 on Amazon. You plug it in, and what that allows you to do is disconnect the front tires. So you're basically going to be a two-wheel drive. So that's one of the main features that it allows you to do, and many others, such as changing your tire size, changing your gears, changing a bunch of other stuff. But mainly what it does, what I like about that feature is it allows you to be in back-wheel drive. So, and another thing I did get is one touch sky roof. I do like this. So at first I was really worried about this. I seen some videos online how it was making these rattling noises, squeaky metal noises. So I was really worried about this. This is a $2,000 extra feature here. So I was debating if I should get it. Once I did get it, once I have it, I can tell you what, it's quiet. know, for Jeep comparisons, I mean, Jeep's a Jeep. I like it. It's really, really convenient. Well, you guys can see I live in Northwest, and it just literally just rained. I mean, right before I was making this video, it literally rained, and you could see, you know, there's some water spots. So having that roof is really nice because you could basically you know, go topless and within a matter of seconds. So that's one of the things I do really like about this. So another thing I found out is, once I had this Jeep, I started looking into the Hemi. So Hemi motors are known to be very reliable. They're very good motors, but they do, some Hemi motors do have that Hemi tick. And what that is basically it literally is like almost a metal against metal ticking. And I watched some videos about that, and what happens is, since it's the way Hemi works, from what I understand, since they're V8, it goes from V4 to V8 when depending how you're driving. So if you're and you don't really notice it. I noticed it right away. What I noticed, basically, what was happening is, I'm driving on the freeway and I'm like, man, what the heck's going on? It almost feels like you're feathering the gas pedal. You're feathering the gas pedal just slowly, like very, very minorly, where you'd feel that it just disengages, something disengages, like it kind of like pulls in and out. And then later I found out that fourth cylinder basically kicks in when you're not hammering on the gas, or it always goes, it basically comes on and off pretty much all the time. And the way to tell is, if you scroll through the menu to see your gas mile per gallon, it literally displays, it comes up there and says four cylinder. And if you're just cruising around, that four cylinder sign literally pops up, I mean, every other 10 seconds, I would say. So that's one of the things I'm still kind of not too sure about. I'm gonna do some research if I like that feature or not. Now, one of the other things that Taser allows you to do is delete that. So what you allow you to do is just basically delete that option, and your motor V8 would always be in V8 mode, which is 8 cylinders running at all times. So the thing I don't like about the V4 idea is just because in my mind, you know, you're cruising in the freeway, and all, you know, your 4 cylinders are always working and your other 4 are working half time, so they're not being as lubricated, and they're staying cooler because they're obviously not running. And so as soon as you hammer the gas, or you're not even necessarily hammer the gas, just press it lightly, your other 4 engage, and now all of a sudden it's pulling all 8. And so in my mind, basically what that is it's uneven wear and tear on the motor. So I'm not a big fan of that. I'm going to do a little research on that and see if I'm going to delete that with that Taser mod that I'm going to get, or if I'm going to leave it or not. So I don't know. So subscribe to the channel, stay tuned. That's the second mod that's coming, is basically that Taser, 38-inch tire, lift, possibly different kind of bumpers here. So yeah, so far so good. It's an expensive Jeep, that's for sure. So